Okay, today we'll discuss about our project has been assigned on your DLD EEE 4308 course, and we have customized a project for the Corona COVID-19 case. So I hope you know how to play Snake and Ladder game. So in that particular game, the equipments are a snake and ladder board, one dice, and some playing pieces, which will actually indication of player one and player two. There are two players to play this game. So you see that the whole board is divided into 100 points, and whosoever to reach that 100 point number 100 is the winner. And you have seen that multiple ladders, multiple snakes are there. The ladder will actually give you a reward of points, whereas the snakes will cost you some points. Okay, that means a reduction of points. Now, in our design, that means which you have to design for the project, that is not that much complex. You will have only one snake, one ladder, and 16 4 by 4 board. Okay, that means you have total 16 blocks there. Okay, there is 100 blocks there, so you have only 16 blocks there. So that the board you need to design, and a dice circuit. So I think you got a rough idea. So let us check uh, the description of the project. So I have made an architecture of the project, okay, which will describe how to play this game and what to do. So in our whole project, you will see that blue buttons. Okay, that blue buttons, that means they are turned off. Okay, and the green notation is actually the activation of a particular circuit. The memory unit is active, but these blocks, memory blocks, are inactive. Okay, the marks unit is inactive. This is the arithmetic logic unit. There is a adder subtractor unit, a combinational logic unit for your ladder, a snack logic unit. Okay, and this board. Okay, now that is the simplest way that I can actually give you the example. So let me show you that the dice circuit will be just a simple a counter, and this the counter will be something like that. It will count from 0 to 3. Okay, and something like that. So from 0 to 3, while it is counting, you can make it using a counter, or you can use your Arduino clock, or you can use a Raspberry Pi clock, okay, for designing the counter, or you can use what should I say, a 555 timer IC. It is all your knowledge, electrical engineering knowledge or electronics knowledge, probably precisely your electronics knowledge to design the counter. Okay, and you need to do it in software. Okay, no hardware things. So what is that unit? This is just a counter, simple counter. Okay. And on this memory unit, you can make it using your sequential logic. I will not explain this thing. You need to design it by your own. The max unit, okay, because there are two players, you need to switch between these two memory blocks and pass that thing into an arithmetic logic unit. Because as engineer, you need to customize your components, right? You need to make it cost efficient. You need to make it as small as possible. So no need to use two arithmetic logic units, two adder subtractor for two players. Okay, use a common circuit and use masking. In the decoder unit, you know that in the decoder, as I might have shown you that how the decoder unit is working in the block, how to make this board. There are 16 blocks, total 16 blocks will be there. So you need to give the notation there. Okay, so how to give the notation? You can use 16 LEDs of a particular color, say green for player 1, and 16 LEDs for another particular color, say red for another player. So now from that player, you need to decode and you need to show that particular LED, okay, for this purpose. And you can use two decoders, okay, yeah, or you can use a decoder with a mask, okay, and that's your up to your choice, okay, how to do these things. Okay, so now let us start. So once I activate this dice button, whatever the number you will show in the counter, it will be fixed, and that number will be passed through this arithmetic logic unit. Simple. Now this number is available for the arithmetic logic unit. Now I'll activate this player 1 button so that this block will be activated. Whatever the content of this block will be passed through via this max unit to this here. And the simple algorithm is you need to store a player's position, previous position, at whatever the present position comes. The present position comes from the dice circuit, right? Because whatever the dice will get, it will be added, right? Like in the snake ladder game, we did it. And then it will be updated in the memory. Okay. So let us see how this thing happens in using this block diagram. So now I will activate the player 1. The player 1 is activated, as you see, this is green. So player 1 is activated. That means when I need to activate, I will use this button switch. So now this is activated, this is deactivated, this is activated. So activated. Now this block will activate. Now this block is activated. Now the mask circuit will also be activated. Now whatever the content, previous content, here you see the previous content for both player 1 and player 2 is 0. So that 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 will pass through this mask unit to this arithmetic logic unit. If you see this thing. So now this thing is passed. Now what do you need to do? We have this 1 there and we have our previous state 0. So it's supposed to move from here to here, right? So what we need to do, we need to add these two, right? Because that is the addition. If you get 2, that means 0 plus 2. So that is the next move. That's how your snake ladder works, right? So we need to activate this add subunit, right? We need to activate this thing. Now this is activated. So what will happen? These numbers and this number, they will be added here in the actor subtractor unit. And whatever the output will be generated, this output will be passed in these two buses, right? One bus is for updating the memory. Now one thing I need to show, as you see that your player 2 is in the off state, that means whatever the previous state of player 2, which is 0, 0, 0, 0, it is not changing, right? Now player 1, this block is activated, so whatever the data is output, data is here in the output, it will just update only player 1, not player 2, because player 2, this block, this memory block is not activated. So once I pass to this, as this is not activated, so this one will activate only, okay, as player 2 is unselected. So let us activate the player 1 memory block, because the position will change, right? Now the 0 plus 1, whatever the output we get, that is 1. Now 1 need to be your present state and next state for the next run, right? And the previous state for the next run, right? This 1 will be now the present state of player 1, and it will be the previous state of player 1 for the next run, right, after player 2. So now activate this thing. So this, now the data is activated. Once the data is activated, now you need to update the board, right? If you want to update the board, you need to activate the decoder unit. So activate the decoder unit. So the decoder unit is updated. Now your player 1 will move from this side to this side, right? So update it. Now that is the portion that we are done with player 1. You can see we are not done placed any snake or ladder here. We are just showing the snake ladder game without a snake or a ladder, okay, just to add with the previous state. And all the time player 2 is unselected, so this memory block will not pass anything via this mask circuit. Now let us check for player 2. Now player 2, again the counter is running because you see your dice button is off. So now what we'll do, we'll now make here the dice button on. So the dice button is on, so whatever the data, that data will be passed through this arithmetic logic unit. And now we'll select this one, player 2, and player 1 will be unselected, and whatever is the previous state of player 1 here, this is 1, and that 1 is updated here, right? And we want to keep that thing unchanged, and we want to deal with player 2, right? So every thing will be happening with player 2. So activate player 2, player 2 activated. So once you press this thing, this memory is activated, the mask unit is activated. Whatever the data in the memory, that is 0000, will be passed through this here to from this memory unit to from the mask unit via the mask unit to your arithmetic logic unit. So you pass it here. Now once you have passed, these two inputs are there. Once the inputs are present, now you have to actuate your add sub unit, right? So actuate this thing. Once you activate it, now they will be added, simply added. It will generate an output, and again it will pass that to memory unit. Now the player 1 is deactivated or not selected. Okay, so it is holding his previous position, which is the 0001, and player 2, it is getting 0011, which is 3. So that value will be the previous state of player 2 in the next run, right after player 1. So we need to update this thing. So update the memory update done, and as well as update the decoder. So decoder update done. So now player 1, player 2 will be updated. The position of player 2 will be from here to 3 position ahead. So that will be the location. So now this is the location we got player 2. Now that is how your player 1 and player 2 they play. This is how your basic memory block for a memory a block, the mask block, and the arithmetic logic unit block, they are working. The decoder block, they are working. The dice circuit working for the basic. Now we will place here one ladder, one snake. So for placing the snake ladder, okay, uh, that is a concept. That concept is uh, when you not actually the concept, it is actually an advantage of this particular snake ladder game, because if you see the very beginning, if you saw it, the typical snake ladder game, okay, there the position of the snakes and position of the ladder are fixed. So here what you'll do, we'll be designing a programmable snake ladder game. That means we can change the position of the snake and position of the ladder. Okay, for the position of the ladder, okay, except these three, this 4, the last row, the position can be at any of these blocks. Okay, first 3 rows. Okay, and the position of the snake, except this first row, it could be any 3 of this row. Okay, so we want to make it like this way. So then in order to make this thing, we need to have our ladder input in terms of 2. Okay, we need to take the ladder inputs twice. Okay, 2 types of input we need to take here for ladder. So what could be the ladder inputs? One is from where to start, like I said, because that's why we have excluded this row, right? We cannot start a ladder here, right? And we cannot start a snake here because that is the beginning, right? So exclude these things. Okay, or so what you need to do here, you need a start point and an end point, right? The end point would go actually how far you will decide actually how far you want to go, right, for later. Okay, so let me see what is in the architecture says. The player 1 is selected. Okay, and the position, the previous position is here at 1, and from the dice circuit I have got 1 there, so at 2. So I want to place my ladder at 2. Okay, so at 2, because that is the status of my architecture. My architecture says that is the status of my circuit. So I want to place in that particular status I want to place a ladder. So my ladder starting position will be 2, and I want to give a 7-point jump. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, because you can see that the previous the snake in snake ladder game, the points are associated in a spiral way. Okay, so it is something like that: 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, then 10 11 12 13 14 15. 15 is the winning point. Okay, so I want to place my ladder here, and I want to end my ladder here. Okay, I want a 7, so that I will have a 7 point jump. So something like that, start from 2, how far to go, 7 points I need to go. So once I give these two inputs here in the ladder logic, okay, ladder logic unit, so what will happen? A virtual ladder will be placed from that location. Okay, you no need to show there in your circuit. Okay, no need to show there in your circuit this kind of virtual ladders. Okay, but your circuit must act in something like that way. Okay, so that is a ladder input. Okay, so what will happen once you like now my architecture in that particular state, where my player 1 will have a ladder. Okay, in that particular state it is in this position 1, it is getting a 1, so it will update and it will go there. Okay, so how it will go there? At the very beginning, this ladder logic block will actuate, because once it go to that position, ladder logic block will actuate, and it will add another 7, and that adds up block will also actuate. Okay, typically the add sub block is enough, the adder circuit is enough to design one after one, one after one after one. But once you got the ladder logic, okay, they need to verify that thing. Only when the player 1 stays in this position, then it will have a 7-point jump. Okay, so that means this position, to verify this position, you need to make a combination logic, then an adder circuit to add a few points and go to there. Okay, so that is the thing. So once you get this thing, then your point will be, you see that for player 1, let me review this thing, it will go from there to there. Okay, once this scenario will be there, so from there to there, so you see that's how your player 1 will move. Now similarly for a snake, suppose that is the status, my player 1, again I'm playing with player 1, and player 1 has this point, player 1 is in the 9th point, and I have a 3, okay, in the dice circuit. And so what I need to do, I have a 3 on the dice circuit. So what I need to do, I need to design my snake input somewhere here. Okay, at the 12th position, and I want to make it here. Okay, the end position. So that is actually 4. 0 1 2 3 4. If this is 9 9 11 12 9 10 11 12, so from 12 to 4, so I need to decrease 8. Okay, so you see this is the 8 block decreased. Okay, 1, then 4 5 6 7 8, so it will be, the position will be here. Okay, so and to place a virtual snake here. Okay, if I give these two, because my snake input will be from where to start and how much to decrease, 8 points to decrease. So once I got this scenario, then what will happen at the beginning, the player will go, player 1 will go to 3 points jump, then both the snake logic and the adder subtractor unit will come, and it will go down. Okay, like this way. So again I'm showing you, once I am here, once I go to that position, when I get 3, then I go to that position. In that particular position, from that particular position, the snake logic will actuate, as well as the adder subtractors, the subtractor logic will actuate, and they will decrease this thing, right? So player 1 is like this way. So that is my whole concept. Now you can design a programmable snake ladder game. Now this board has an special case. Okay, now let us check this special case. The special case is something like that, when you have in the 14th position or somewhere here. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, in this row. Suppose you are here, so you get 1. Okay, that means from 14 you need 1 to win, and you got 1 to win. Then what will happen? That 1 will be passed through here. It will update your memory, right? It will update your memory and update the decoder, and you place 1 here, from here to here, and place 1 here, and player 1 on, right? That is the scenario, typical scenario. But what will happen if you have the same position and you got 3 or 2? Okay, because if you got 3 with this circuitry, with this architecture, it will add 3 there. Okay, so because we are actually simply adding with the previous state, so whatever the state here, if you add, it will again go there, then there, then there, it will come back here. But we are not allowed to do so in the snake ladder game. What we need to do, if we have some kind of scenario where we are reached here, and this thing exceeds by 15, the total sum exceeds by 15, okay, then we need to have a hold position. In that particular case, what will happen, the data will pass, but it will not update player 1. You see, player 1 will not update, and also the decoder will not, unit will not update, so it will be on the hold position. It will be on the hold position. Similarly, if it is here, unless it get 1 or 2, it will update. uh, Otherwise it will, for 3, it will not update, it will take a hold position. Okay, so that is the thing I need to discuss. Okay, there is a special case. So what you need to do, you need to design a black box, okay, to prevent this thing. Okay, you need to keep your players hold in these positions, okay, until the suitable point to reach here is not arrived. Okay, so that's your whole project. Okay, best of luck. This is your whole project. You need to do it in Proteus and submit it. Okay, so that's from my side.